All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you. We are back with another wonderful guest, Katrina Smith. And as always, I'm excited because I'm excited about everyone's journey, everyone's message, everyone's story, and everyone's testimony because they're all different and uniquely their own. So I'm gonna just share a little bit about you, with you about Katrina. We're gonna carry on with this show because we have some more great things to share. So, Katrina Smith was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was raised in the Midwest. She is a college student working towards her major in psychology. So she can become a guidance counselor for younger children with mental and physical disabilities. Like herself, she has a learning disability that was caused by an automobile accident at 9 months. At the age of 14, she entered into a poetry contest, and this is where her journey into writing poetry started. In her junior to senior year in high school, she modeled for her school fashion show. Then in 2015, she started her online talk show for people with disabilities to bring awareness to their disabilities to their disabilities. Her online talk show is called Living with Disabilities. In 2019, she started her own jewelry business where she handcrafts jewelry. In 2021, she started the Living with Disabilities podcast. Recently opened a Living with Disability merchandise online store. Y'all help me welcome no other than Katrina Smith. Katrina, just
Yeah.
this part I'm gonna give everybody right here.
And unite everyone. And with a smile upon my face, I know one day I'll rise, but I gotta believe.
I chose to unite everyone because with you doing what you want to do, the psychology, and helping other individuals, younger ones with mental and disabilities, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And with a smile on your face, okay? So thank you again. Now let's get into. So let's talk about first all things COVID, the pandemic, and then we could get into your personal story. So
All right.
how did you deal with the pandemic?
Well, it kind of hit pretty fast for me because I'm like, it was 2018 actually. Um, I was already off for from college for my break, and then when 2019 came around, I was like all excited, getting ready for school and whatnot until like, oh, the pandemic hit, COVID, and at first it didn't really hit me that much until everything else came along, and it was like you have to wear the mask, and I
Mhm.
already have breathing issues, so that was a difficult time. So
Mhm.
going outside and keeping a mask on, I found it kind of difficult because I already deal with asthma, and that was like not a good thing for me to be outside. So I technically stayed indoors. I really didn't like. I'm at this point now. I don't want to go outdoors to this degree. Um, I've already had it. Had already caught COVID before, and this was the beginning of January,
Mhm.
and it was it took two 2 weeks for me to
Mhm.
completely um, get over it. And so it's like then I felt like, I already dealt with depression in 2019 or 2018 to 2019.
Mhm.
And I still have like different, like, I lose my motivation very easily.
Mhm.
And that was a sign that I had depression because I reached out to one of my siblings to believe it or not that I have a like a lot of sisters and brothers, and
Mhm.
so I reached out to them and or one of them, and she explained to me what I was going through because she went to school to become a a naturopathic doctor, and so she explained to me that you're going through depression, and for me to explain it with the rest of my family, which I kind of found it hard. Um, so I was kind of ducking and dodging certain family members because of it. So right now, how is the pandemic? Um, how am I dealing with it? I still have my off and on moments. I
Mhm.
still have like exercising is the comes to be a hard kind of hard for me sometimes. So what I do is I kind of associate myself around my friends to stay up on things. I still hang out with my family and everything. So I tend to try to stay motivated by hanging around them because without having them around, I honestly wouldn't know where I would be. And to the point, no, for people that want to know how does my depression affect me, I'm not too suicidal. I don't have any of those type of thoughts. I just, lose the lack of doing anything.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that part could be just as worse.
Right.
Just don't have no motivation to want to do anything. You don't
Mhm.
want to get up, you don't want to do nothing, you don't feel like being bothered. None of those things. I get it.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, COVID was me too. I suffer with asthma as well. So wearing that mask was like the words, but I still wear it. I
Right.
do wear it, Um, I think about myself, Kelly, and my husband, and my family members as well. So, I definitely try my best in everything that I can do, um, to try to stay as safe as I possibly can. I don't go into any big events or anything like that. I don't do none of that. But I get that part of not wearing the mask, but you got to.
Right.
So if you don't mind me asking, when you caught COVID, where were you? Were you out? Do
Um,
you know how you caught it?
no, I don't know how I caught it. I did go I didn't go to like big places. Like I would go to the store sometimes, and a majority would go to one of my siblings' house when she would have like her little events going on. So she would invite family to
Okay,
her house. So it was like that. It was like a family event, only
gotcha.
family, and honestly don't know how I got it.
Yeah. A lot of people get it, don't really know how they got it anyway. But people need
Right.
to know that it's still out there. We lost a family member this year,
Oh,
another
I'm
brother,
sorry.
and we just still gotta just really protect others. We
Right.
protect ourselves, we're gonna protect others.
Exactly.
So um yeah, when everything shut down, it was just so crazy. It was so desolate. And it was just the craziest thing ever to ever experience, firsthand, to have experienced firsthand. Like, who would have thought that the country was shut down like that? Like
Hmm.
everything. So, well, I'm glad you survived the pandemic and, pushing forward. Thank God that you didn't fall back and, let yourself go, and you're
Hmm.
still moving and shooting towards your goals and destiny so you could become the
Right.
person you want to become, so you, like you said, be able to help others out like yourself, you
Right.
know, to be better, because when you talk about mental disabilities, that's huge.
Yes.
That mental conditions, could cause people to want to just give up life, period.
Exactly.
So what would be your biggest thing in helping someone out in the mental capacity? What would be your number one thing to actually encourage them or inspire them? What would be that thing you would share with them?
Well, to to let everyone know that doesn't know me, I actually have a mental disability, and it was caused by an automobile accident. And um, I was 9 months old when it happened. I was out for a walk, and I was in a stroller, and a drunk driver hit a car that was in front of them, and then that car hit another car which came up on the pavement and knocked me out my stroller. And yeah, sometimes I do have difficulty sharing my story, but I do find the bravery sometimes to speak about it. Um, and this is one of the moments that I have to pull back the tears if they come, just to share with you, because I'm very, very, very passionate about sharing my story, because I don't want to see nobody else out there getting hurt. I want people to understand that when you get behind the wheel, you're not caring about yourself anymore. You got everybody else out there that you got to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get behind the wheel, you must wear your seatbelt. And if you're gonna drink, drink responsibly, and wait till you sober up to get behind that wheel. Because once again, it's not just about you anymore when you get behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I myself had a learning disability because of an individual that decided not to drink responsibly. I don't know if it was a lady or if it was a guy who was behind that wheel, but
Mm-hmm.
my mom did share with me that one of the people that was involved in it was a much older lady, and she came out and she apologized because
Oh.
she, yeah, because she was involved, but she wasn't the actual person who caused it. And so
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to me wanting to help people mentally, is because through my own experience,
Yeah, gotcha.
and that's very important to me.
Yeah.
And wanting to help other people besides dealing with the mental disability. I had a best friend who had a physical disability, and I was pretty close to her.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2016, she had passed away, and
Sorry.
so yeah, so I also, like, I don't want to just disclose like physical disabilities out of what I want to do. I want to include them, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I believe society altogether should open up to understanding, not just people that are able bodied,
Right.
but mental and physical disabilities. They should open up and include us all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
That's
agree.
that's my passion behind wanting to help mental and physical disabilities.
Okay. So, poetry.
Yes,
So you like to write poetry.
yes.
Okay.
hmm
Can you give us one?
Oh, I can give you one that I remember back in 2015 that
Okay.
I wrote, and I took it and I keep it as a memory when I go through different times. I
Mhm.
call it the key to life.
Okay.
When life gives you a brick, build something. When life gives you a rock or a stone, create a path. When life gives you a torch, light your way because your journey just began. And what I mean by that is, when you see a brick, what do you think about that brick when you look at it? You can build something with it. That's the same thing with your mind. Ideas come to you, you can build from those ideas. When life gives you a rock or a stone, it's basically you're building your path already, since you already got the idea in your head.
Mhm.
Now it's time for you to write it down and create your path to getting there. And then when life gives you a torch, meaning it shines a bright light on your idea and
Mm.
your path, and now you're on your way to getting to where you need to be in life.
Right. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Yes.
I like that. And you already
Mhm.
had it all broken down for the meaning of the whole. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Poetry and psychology. So uh that's going to help with the part of becoming a guidance counselor.
Yes.
That's good psychology.
Mhm.
My last class, I started Bible college in August, and I started off with doing leadership courses in
Mhm.
Christian um, beliefs and background. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the last one, January, was basically psychology in the Christian field. And man, it was so powerful. It's so I just learning so much. Like I ain't been to school since I graduated in 1983.
Ooh, wow.
1983, I ain't been to school, but I had a desire to want to go to Bible college since 2005. After overcoming so much of a struggle in a dark place, going through so much, I wanted to go to Bible college because God kept me and saw me through. So I wanted to know more of God and use some of the stories of from the Bible to go along with my journey. And just grateful that I made it through. And I was like, God, I just want to know more. I want to learn
Mhm.
more. So 20 years later, this opportunity shows up. I jump in, and the rest is history. That was August 2021 last year when I started.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so getting back in it was a little challenging. Enemy was mad. Enemy was mad. He tried to throw all kinds of obstacles in my way.
Mhm.
I made it. I made it.
Exactly.
So I am so glad to hear that, you want to do something to help others because of your journey. And then
Yeah.
a lot of times that's where it starts from our experiences in
Mhm.
life, things that we've gone through, been through, dealt with, and overcome. And we want to go back and give back because that's what you're doing. You're giving back,
Yes.
you know. And your podcast, okay, sis.
Mhm.
Yes. So, what are your main topics that you talk about on your podcast?
Okay, so basically what goes on in the disability community and some things like this topic that I recently talked about um, that airs on Fridays
Okay.
at 7 here since it's like PST time since that's where I'm at, but in different time zones. Um, last I don't can't remember it quite off the top of my head, but I do know what topic that's going to be shared this week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's about disabled related abortions. It was a topic that I saw in online, and I want to talk about that. Or I shared some. I kind of broke it down a little bit from what I read, and so I feel as though when it comes to you know disabilities, we all should be included
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
will understand a little bit more goes on when it goes live tomorrow. Um, and then I just write my topics out and I make it accessible for those who can't see, like
Oh.
for low vision. That's another reason why I started the podcast because with the person that has low vision or blind can't read my blog, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I I take it and I break it down into making it into a podcast. That way they can hear it.
Got you. Okay.
And for those who are deaf, they have my blog to read about. So I found different obstacles of how to include everyone into it
Okay.
because not only do I have um, I wear glasses myself, but so depends like on certain like if I can see certain things, I would need to wear my glasses,
Okay.
and so um, that will help. I don't like to disclose like people out of things. I want to include them.
Inclusion, so important. So important. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was good. And to be able to talk about topics that a lot of people don't want to talk about,
Right,
I look at you as a very courageous, confident, bold person that's ready to just really help someone in so many different ways. Not everyone could do that. Not everyone could do that. Not everyone is bold enough to do that. Not everyone is confident. But you have to be confident in yourself first. And you have to love
right,
yourself, be confident in yourself in order to go out there and share things that is of importance, truly,
exactly,
because some people have their preference of different things that they talk about, but what about those things that people don't want to talk about?
right,
They do, but don't know how.
right,
Let me. I'm pretty sure it's probably they want to, but just don't know how to do it. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? So, gosh, kudos to you
Thank
for
you.
just standing up and taking the step to do that. That's powerful. That's very powerful. So proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So what you got to share with us? Come on, bring it out.
Okay,
Let's hear all the good stuff.
so recently, um, I was offered a transcribing job, and now I get to, fix subtitles so
Oh,
that people that need them can be able to read them because they're when you like when certain videos when people are talking you may see words that are not being said and you don't want to give people the wrong impression so you have to make sure that the subtitles fit everything that is being said in the correct order
you do
and
that?
that yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So when they give you the video and you just go back and
Yeah, I get the transcript and I
mm,
get the audio. I don't get the video. I just
look
get
at the
the
video, just got
I
you.
get the transcript and the audio and then I fix any errors that are in there and correct them.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's awesome. I don't know how you
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. Um, wow, that's you know what? I'm just a firm believer there's something out here for everybody, and you never know all these different things. But I get it, and it makes sense because a lot of times we're talking, we could talk fast, we get the words out, and the captioning might not get it the way it's actually said, and it'll put it down as close as what is hearing, So you might be like, I did not say Jones, I said
Right.
James. That's JAM, not JON. So I get it how that could happen and how they created such a position like that to make sure
Mhm.
everything is clear, and we're not saying a curse word versus the right word, or we're not
Right.
saying a bad word versus this, or so I get that. Wow, I never really thought about that. Never really thought about that.
Right.
Girl, you'll make me go back and look at my caption and make sure ain't no words coming here ain't supposed to be out there.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. So what else you do?
I also have some cookbooks out as well because and yes in 2015 I was it was the same around the same time that I came out with my Living with Disability talk show. I was I graduated in '96 from
Okay.
high school, um, and since then I went to a transition program that gets you prepared to go into the real world to find jobs. And I graduated that program, and I just been on the road ever since looking for jobs. And
Mhm.
I gotten down to a couple of places that wanted to hire me, but then the minute they, saw me face to face or they heard about my story, then it was like, no. And I
They
felt
put the
bad.
rap against you?
Yes, they were. There was one was a clothing store for little kids, and the lady told me to come in, and I came in to get an application. So she basically gave me the runaround, basically. And so then when I sent it back in, she was like, "This is a family-owned um, business. Like this could have been said at the very beginning." So I didn't say anything. I just, handed her the application, walked out the door. Um, then I had another one recently. Not recently, but I had another one that had told me, it was another retail store, told me to fill out the application, brought it back in, told me to call them within 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I basically was the one calling them constantly,
Wow.
and I didn't get anything.
Terrible.
Then I tried out for an what is it, the ice cream shop down the street where I live at. I didn't didn't get anything from them. So I basically, what I wasn't the type of person that if I have something set in mind, I'm not gonna stop until I get there. So I kept trying and trying and trying, and nothing, nobody was opening their doors. And I got to another point where this is before the ice cream shop.
Mhm.
Um, I had tried out for another. It was like you want to say Goodwill or something like that, and I got a over the phone interview with them. And the guy asked me if I had any medical issues, and I can't lie. So it's like I do have seizures, right?
Mhm.
So I had to be upfront with that because what if I go in there and I say no, and something happens to me?
Right.
It's gonna be on them.
Mhm.
Plus, I should have came up front about it. And so
I didn't know people asked you that question.
yeah, they'll ask you that, and I don't technically like being asked that, but I have to be honest
Mhm.
because even on the applications these days, they'll ask you if you're disabled veteran or if you're disabled. They'll give
Okay.
you three boxes. You have to check it off,
Mhm.
whichever one fits you. And so I don't think they should disclose that at all, not unless it's up to the person with that disability to
Right. Right.
and mention it. So I told the manager, the hiring manager, that I had seizures disorder or yeah, and or condition, and he's like, sorry, I don't want this to be like if anything was to happen to you, I don't want to take the fault for it. You can find another Goodwill place, like another Goodwill place. And so I did that. And I'm like, I tried, well, in 2019, I tried again and didn't get anything. So I'm like, each time I kept trying, I kept feeling bad about myself because I'm like, what is it about
Me,
me that, what
right.
is it about me that you guys can't see in me? You're not allowing me to show you what I am capable of. So I started feeling down about myself. Every time I constantly kept getting what I like to call the walking ticket with a smile
Mhm.
because I'm getting the ticket that's saying, no, you can't. While at the same time, you're smiling in my face. And so I call it the walking ticket with a smile. I'm
Wow.
getting rejected, but yet and still you're smiling about it, like you're happy that you're turning your back and not allowing to see what I am capable of doing.
Hmm.
Nobody should do that.
They're not
And
even giving you a chance. They just automatically, basically, we're not just assuming. They're really just saying, okay, no, she can't do this.
right.
Oh, that is so bad that, and I know you're not the only one that's been through so many of these
Mhm.
trying times. Um, as a matter of fact, DJ dealt with that. He dealt with that, being turned down so many times because of his disability. Once they see him coming in, basically in my eyesight, I'm like, they're probably like, oh, he in a wheelchair. No, you know, you
Right.
thought to me on the phone, you're okay. But as soon as I come live with you, it's like, oh no, that's not what we're looking for.
Right.
What?
Right. And I even had one place
That's
where,
not discrimination.
yeah, it really is. I had one place that I wanted to like, work with. It was to help like a volunteering job for people with cerebral palsy, and I went there. The lady was like interviewed me, and then she was like, you know what? There's a program downstairs that you can attend to, and I took it like, oh, another opportunity for me to, make friends or whatever you want. It's like another program. And I remember my mom sharing with me, and she had to explain to me that that's not the right way to go about it. What that lady did was not right. So, because nowadays, like, even with my disability, I have trouble understanding certain things.
Mm,
So, I have to be told, okay, if somebody tells me something, and if it's something that I wasn't going for in the first place, and they try to change my mind about it, let stick to what you were really going there for. You
mm,
weren't going there to become a student. You
mhm.
were coming there to work to help them with students. And instead they want to change your mind to make you become a student in
Right?
their program.
Wow. Wow. So this place you're at now, um, what type of business is it? Like,
Um, well,
are they
Trini,
online?
yeah, the Trini's Creations, the business that I came up with, um, it is an online business. I make the jewelry and sell it. And then the transcribing business is an online business. It's from one of my friends who knows someone who's into transcribing.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
That's
that
good.
I,
That's good.
and she knows that I'm big on wanting to help the disabled community, and so the lady that I work for, she does interviews based on like somewhat like what you're doing,
Okay.
and I just get the transcript and then I get the audio and I have to listen to it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's awesome. Listen,
Hmm.
that if that work out for you in a way that you like, wow, think about and have a vision behind that because that could possibly become a business. You could possibly,
Right.
create a business out of that.
Hmm.
Just never know.
Exactly.
So that's something to definitely look at and see
Mhm.
how you could turn that thing around for your good and create your own personal business doing that. Then just learn how to market and, look for people that's doing exactly how you started in doing it and see how you can help them,
Mhm.
and have your fees, in order, how much you want to charge and, all of that stuff. Girl, that could quickly turn right around. Then guess
Right.
what? Now you ain't got to worry about nobody turning you down because, hey, listen, it might be those same people you might have to help them one day.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So wow, okay, okay. Well, I definitely excited to see, your journey moving forward and, you becoming that person to be able to help other individuals like yourself, basically just overcome things or, help prevent, maybe just by
Right.
sharing, they won't have to go into certain things because they done heard it from someone else.
Exactly.
So, is there anything else you would like to share with us? Something that you feel you want everyone to know about you, or what you do, or have you overcome some certain things?
Well, I would like to share my story once again because I want to make sure that it seeps in and that um, people don't just take it for granted
Right.
because you're only given, like they always say, you're only given one life, and you're lucky if you survive that one life. So the best thing to do is if you're going to be outside,
Hmm.
whether you're going to be in the car, walking, wherever you're going to be responsible and pay attention. If you see something that's not right, you know, you know exactly what to do. And, and especially when it comes to like getting in the car,
Hmm.
don't don't go drinking and driving. Don't, because my story, I'm lucky, as I said.
Bless,
Yes, I
bless.
am blessed.
Would have
Okay,
been a different
I,
story.
yes,
Yeah.
I am blessed
Hmm.
to have made it out.
Yeah.
And because here's one thing that you guys don't know about is this: when I was in, when I had my accident, and I was in the coma for 6 months, and then I was in a semi coma for 3 months afterwards.
Mm.
And so doctors had their, saying, oh, she's not going to live, or if she does, she's going to remain a vegetable for the rest of her life. Um, I made it out
Wow.
alive, and and I didn't know how to walk at first,
Mhm.
but a nurse taught me how to walk, and she taught me how to talk over again because I lost the ability to walk and I lost the ability to talk. So I was taught those things now. So it is good to pay attention and
Yeah.
to not get behind the wheel and do some foolish stuff.
Especially if
Just
you know you're not in the condition to do so.
right.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Well, she laid it out once again. Basically, if you don't want to think about yourself, think about others out there. Think about others before you go out there and want to do something that can be destructive. Basically, because you could hurt someone else. Even if you don't get hurt, you could hurt someone else, or you could get hurt and someone else could get hurt. So
Right.
that's what she's trying to let you know. Thank
Mhm.
God that it didn't hurt, do too much damage to her, where her story would be different. Yeah, so I totally agree with that part. You know, be careful. Don't go out there if you know it's not right.
Right.
You've been drinking and you know you under the influence heavily. Don't get behind the wheel. Just don't do it. Just think about others and yourself. So I feel like if you think about others, then you're going to think about yourself. Because if you can help hurt others, you can definitely hurt yourself.
Exactly.
So that's good. That's good. Well, leave a word of inspiration for our listeners. That's if you have nothing else you want to share. If you have something else you want to share, by all means do so. You know, if not, then I say open up with, leave us with a word of inspiration, how everybody can follow you, your website if you have one, or if it's on your page, all those good things.
Yeah, I have. Okay, my inspiration for you guys is the poem that I recited was the key to life, and I say and I repeat this again. When life gives you a brick, build something. When life gives you a rock or a stone, create a path. When life gives you a torch, light your way because your journey just began. You can take that in a positive manner and go out and do something with that.
Yep.
And what do you know, at the end of the day or at the end of the year, whatever it is that you're trying to reach for, you will make it. You just have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe, then it won't happen.
Right, right. Well, there we go. Now share how everybody can, well, that's if up to you. If you want people to
Uh,
follow you or whatever, you can share all those information.
Okay. I have, like, I'm all over the place. Basically, you can find me if you're into wanting to share your story on living with disabilities. You can find it on Facebook at Living with Disabilities Facebook page, and my picture will be on there. I have a gray paperboy hat, and
She look cute, y'all.
thank you.
Like she
um,
is now, all that pretty hair.
yeah,
Hmm.
and I'm also on Instagram. Just go Living with Disabilities on Instagram, all lowercase letters, and you can follow me. Where else can you follow me? And if you want to follow me on my personal page, you can find you can if we're mutual friends through Kelly R. Smith,
Hmm.
you can easily link and send me a friend request, and I don't mind being friends.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Kelly said, "Thank you for sharing."
You're welcome, Kelly.
I couldn't get her. She normally come around this way, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Listen, when things change and you want to come back and share more, just reach out to me. We would love to have you back again and let you share some more amazing things that you're doing in the community for yourself and for others for sure.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you
Well,
so
you're
much.
welcome.
You enjoy the rest of your day and
You too.
keep shining, honey. Keep shining.
You too.
All right. Take care.
All
Bye bye.
right. Bye.